Hey there, Adam Menzel, Certified Advanced Rolfer, coming to you again from my backyard Rolfing studio in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. As you can see, the weather is a little different than the last time we were together. This is video number 3 in a series of videos that I've put together to help you find ease and balance in your body during this difficult time. This video is going to focus on finding and reclaiming our full expansive breath. So check it out, and as always, send comments or please feel free to connect with me with any questions you might have, and have a wonderful day and keep breathing fully. Reclaiming our full expansive breath. I notice at this time specifically that when I'm out running essential errands, that I'm actually limiting my breath to an extent. When I find myself in closer proximity to others, shopping, checking out at a store, I find myself almost holding my breath or radically decreasing the volume of my inspiration and expiration. We know physiologically that when we do those things, that we tend to boost our anxiety level and kind of activate our nervous system. And we lower our oxygen levels and we build up a little bit more carbon dioxide as well. So those patterns, while rather innocuous when done in really short periods of time, I think can become set patterns that we might carry with us after we're back home. So the purpose of this video is just to draw some simple attention to our breath and hopefully help reset back to a more natural, balanced, and easy breath. We take about 15,000 to 20,000 breaths a day. By simply helping our body become a little more adaptable and a little more easy and a little more efficient with our breathing, even if it's by 0.25%, we just multiply that over the number of breaths that we have during the day, and we can see that by having a nice, easy, balanced breath, we can really increase our vitality and hopefully decrease our stress level and drop our anxiety levels as well. So a few simple things, and by simple I do mean these are very simple, but really often it's those simple things that are the most powerful when done on a regular basis. So one of the determinants of our breath being easy and free is what we call mobility of the thoracic area. So thoracic cavity, rib cage, I like to call it the rib basket. It's a little bit more true to what's really there because the rib cage is actually quite flexible. So let's explore that together for a moment or two. So when we breathe in, we should see an increase in space in the rib cage out to the side and up and down, and then also a sense of the breath moving forward and at the same time moving backward. So just for a moment, take a couple deeper full breaths. And just begin to notice, where does your breath express itself easily, and where might you find a restriction or a lack of movement in breath? So again, when we breathe in, we want to see expansion to the side, and we want to see front-back extension or expansion, and we want to see a sense of lift as well. So one way we can enhance that is to simply just help mobilize the rib cage. So doing slow side bending with your hands as an assist here to help our rib cage find a way to kind of shift to the side and then shift to the other side, and perhaps a little back bending as well, and just kind of get a sense of that the ribs can move independently from each other. There's space between the ribs, there are joints in the back where the ribs meet the spine, and there are connections that are mobile in the front as well. So we want to strive for a sense of flexibility through this rib basket. So things that are side bending can be really helpful for that. Things like the cat and cow, the kind of classic movements on all fours where you're exploring this flexion and extension can be helpful. So begin to explore that sense of adaptability in the rib cage, and where you find restriction, just play with that a little bit. Again, the goal is for this ease of expansion and for the rib cage to kind of return to a resting level without a lot of energy. You might find as you start to do that, that our system starts to slow down quite a bit as well. Again, back to what I was saying earlier about anxiety levels being high right now, stress levels being high right now. So anything we can do to help normalize our nervous system and bring us back to balance can be very, very helpful. Another area that I'd invite you to explore is this kind of lower margin of the rib cage. In anatomical terms, we call this the costal arch. And it's kind of where this whole rib basket or rib cage meets the abdomen. Just underneath that costal arch, if you find that you can just explore with your fingertips just around the back of that costal margin. Just again, very gently, not trying to make anything happen, but just kind of exploring that space. Just underneath your fingertips on the back of the rib cage, on the inside of the rib cage, I should say, are the attachments of a portion of the diaphragm, the respiratory diaphragm, which is our primary breathing muscle. And I would encourage you just to explore if there are any areas of tension there, any places that feel particularly held. When I explore that, I notice just a little bit more restriction right here where my abdomen meets my rib cage. And I might choose to just back bend and slightly lift there, or side bend, and just kind of gently connecting with that space and just encouraging a little more space there, a little more ease there. It's often this area that when we find ourselves sitting for long periods of time, where we find a sense of kind of collapse. And oftentimes then again, that becomes our set pattern. And so in the spirit of finding an ability to reset our breath, this might be another area to check out. So I'm really hopeful that this is helpful for you. Keep your comments coming. It's been really wonderful to be in touch with some of you around these videos. I've had a couple requests, which I'm really excited about. I'll work on those as the days unfold. If you have other requests for things you'd like to see or like to have any assistance with in this kind of video format, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Reach out at any time if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing you in person in the near future, hopefully, and look for more soon.